Hey, yo, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? It is your man B Vaughan here with another interview segment right here on We Create Music TV. And today we have manager, producer, songwriter, GFE OGB, which I know stands for GUAP FAM Entertainment, Original Gangsta Black. So welcome to the show, man. How are you?
Doing all right, doing all right.
That's what's
Thanks
good,
for having
brother.
me.
Oh man, thanks for being here. I greatly appreciate you being here, man. Looking forward to learning more about you and what you do in the music and the whole management side and all that good stuff that we're going to talk about tonight.
Most definitely, most definitely.
Most definitely. So, if you wouldn't mind starting us off, introduce yourself. How did you get started in this whole music world?
Well, first name, always been the same since I was little, and coming from my way of life, as far as the street and property level, and over here in Atlanta, and we already know what that's about. And on the east side, the metropolitan area, Glenwood
Mm-hmm.
County, it's a struggle. So I mean, first to start, that's just me and my name and how I grew up. So with that comes the struggle. I always been a writer. That's how I bring myself out. I always been a writer within, as far as novels, books, and poetry. But the music lane just came about far as coming out of the struggle and trying to make myself as well as others around me uh better, and the ones everybody around me has some type of talent and bringing that together, and that's where I come in to play with the music, and they know my passion for business itself, networking and business itself. So bringing that together created what it is for what I am and what it is today, GUAP FAM Entertainment, along with my along with the founder, Madman
Mm-hmm.
Floyd, and with for a long time. He brought me in as far as the business side of an aspect and making the label what it is today. You know,
Dope.
mm,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, so how did you get started? Did you kind of grow up in this whole music world? Did
well, yeah,
you?
yeah. I mean, but and when it comes to like the streets, the struggle,
Mm-hmm.
when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to that, it's like it's an outlet, and music being a foundation and an outlet, point blank, period. And not only that, the writing, all them
Mm.
activities, along with football, along with
Right,
basketball.
right.
I mean, so but everybody's not a football player. Everybody's not a basketball player. Everybody's not a rapper or artist. I mean, me
Mm-hmm.
myself, I consider myself more of a manager and a songwriter. Somebody that will
Mm.
go in. You know, but far as coming with Rock Fam Entertainment and this music, you know, everybody hung around do it. They've been doing this for
Mm.
years before
Mm.
establishing, the actual foundation. You know, I mean, so the passion always been there for the music. It's
Right.
like bringing me in is like a business aspect as well as a passion, because you always need all sides of the field, especially dealing with music nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got
I
that
mean,
right.
so I mean, it been like that. I've been doing music for about a good 3 years now.
Okay.
Um, but like I say, they've been doing as far as melody, rhymes,
Mm-hmm.
poetry, songwriting, shoot, even managing. Shoot, that comes with an art. That comes with any business anyway.
Right.
So,
Right.
it's a bigger development and a bigger learning and enlightenment.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, kind of what you said just a little bit earlier is that, maybe not everybody gravitated towards football or basketball. Not everybody's probably a rapper or a singer, whatever the case is, but everybody has some type of emotional connectedness to music, though, right?
right,
They may
right.
not, so they may not be, a singer or a rapper, but they can remember their favorite song and how their favorite song touched them in some way, uplifted them in some way,
Oh yeah,
got them
oh yeah,
through some
yeah.
type of situation, right? And so, growing up in the hood, I grew up in the hood, so, growing up in
Mhm.
the hood, there's a lot of activities that's taking place, right? There's a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
things that can be distracting you from maybe what you're called to do, your purpose is. And
Or
so I
even
know,
deter,
yeah, go ahead.
deter you. I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying
yeah, it can
even
deter you.
well, you can go the whole opposite way.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, without a good foundation in the background, it's already bad enough that your parents can only do so much because they got to concentrate on you living. They got to concentrate on you surviving and you sustaining. As well as making sure that other folks don't get into their business. Because it's a struggle, and who has any type of like minds when it comes to the struggle and knowing about the struggle if you ain't from it.
That's right.
So so the people that usually in control is the ones that ain't from it.
Mm.
So like it's like, shoot, we have an outlet. And music,
Mm-hmm.
y'all beatbox. I mean, a person don't even know how to rap might make the fireest freestyle. You'd be like, what?
Right.
I mean,
That's
and
right.
now take him somewhere. That'll take him somewhere if with the encouragement and motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Having more of that, more
Mm-hmm.
motivation. That's one thing that I try to do with my whole team. Like I say, I really manage and learn than life.
Right.
And as we grow, and like my whole team, we done grew up, and as well we network, bring others in,
Mm-hmm.
and lighten them on the foundation. Because it's
That's
more
right.
than just dropping your music and somebody listening to it and you getting signed. You
Come on
know,
now. Speak on it.
yeah, this is the aspect, and that's why you know I do what I do because the
Mm.
business and people feeling mistreated. We already getting mistreated from the struggle. We already getting mistreated. So
Mm-hmm. I can
somebody
see
has
that.
to step up. Somebody has to step up, and that's where we come in on a whole nother level. That's why it's growing with a purpose. We
Mm.
say GUAP FAM, but it's growing with a purpose. It's gaining wisdom and power.
Mm.
And with the in depth of what money means.
Right.
What we bring. So GUAP FAM Entertainment. That's why we say we more than music.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing
Yeah, I was
music.
gonna.
We're bringing music, but we're bringing morals.
Right, right, right. Yeah, because I was gonna ask you what GUAP Fam stood for, and I'm glad you said that. To
Mm,
kind of, usually there's some type of meaning behind the name that people choose for what they do. Whether GUAP is in retrospect to getting money, or if it's growing in wisdom and power, right? Because I like that play on, right? It's not, yeah, it is about getting money because we want to get paid for the things that we do,
all
but
right.
we
Yeah.
also want to transfer wisdom and knowledge and power to other people so that they can grow as well as an
Yeah.
artist, as a producer, whatever it is in this industry. Because what you said in the beginning, I think is critically important is that foundation, right? And
Right.
it's not just the foundation, but it's also making sure that you stay on the right track as well, and
Yeah.
having
Gotta
people
sustain. Gotta
around you
sustain.
that keeps you
Mm,
in it keeps you on the right track. Because it's easy to go, oh, I'm doing this, and then like, okay, I'm going over
that
here
way.
to do some of
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
and it's like having people around you like, hey, I don't think you should do that, or I don't think you should go that way, or that's not a good look. Come over
Mm,
here and stay in this way. That
mm.
kind of gives people the direction that is truly needed, the accountability that's needed in order to truly, really benefit from this whole music thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because the team is the most. Loyalty is the most.
Mm.
And at the day, if you don't have no type of dedication to what you do, loyalty to what you do, how do
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Another one is not going to take you serious. And then if somebody do have loyalty, then they're going to dismiss you. And if somebody don't have loyalty, then they're going to use you because you're playing. And the thing about it is having that understanding and understand yourself where you want to be. Because most folks look and perceive at things and be like, I can do that too. Instead of realizing that their gift was probably drawn. Instead of realizing that their gift was probably caused. Their gift was probably influencing on a whole different level. Youth challenge. So people
Mm-hmm.
don't see. They see and perceive that they can be. You
Mm.
know, Instead of saying that I'm perceived in me. Let me perceive
Right.
in me and see what the power brings. You know, far as everything around you and knowing you itself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a whole nother subject. but but you know, I mean, it's about learning the game and it's about spreading the
Right.
knowledge. You know, and
That's
not
right.
and not being greedy. You know,
Mm.
and that's a whole nother aspect too. Not being greedy, because the game brings all types of challenges to where
Mm-hmm.
we're going through it right now. We go through it right now of the learning.
Mm.
You know, because you still have to maintain. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
can't do the same thing, even though they might want the limelight, even though they might want that type of money, or they might
Right.
not get this as they should. But it's about the understanding and overstanding, and that's where we fail to have a constant reminder of.
The understanding and the overstanding.
Right, right. Gotta know, gotta
Yes.
know, gotta know.
Yes. And I think that's the most important part is what makes a team successful is when the roles have been clearly identified on the team. And each
Right,
person on that
right.
team knows how to bring their skill set to that particular. It sounds like I'm teaching back in corporate America, but
Hey, 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 hey. That's what life is. That's what life is. That's what
yeah,
everything in
that's
life.
that's that's right.
You
I mean,
know.
because that's the thing. Everybody has to understand. Okay, I may be wanting to do this, but I'm really great at this,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
let me
See,
really manifest my skill set in this and grow in this.
but
And I
but
think,
I do have one thing to say on that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not to interrupt you, but I do
Nah,
have
go
one thing
ahead.
to say.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I want to elaborate on talent. You know, because we know what talent is, but we might be good on music, but then we might be good on selling dope. You feel me? But we fail to look at the longevity. You know, well, I can do music, but I can sell dope. But they don't look at the longevity. No matter what's profiting now, it's about what's going to sustain you later. You know, and what's going to bring you up and those around you, and not have you come tumbling down. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean
Yeah,
that'd be the whole gist of everything. That's life. That's business.
it's
You know.
life. It's Look, it's
And-
life. Look, it's so crazy. We had this almost a similar conversation uh, last interview that I did, talking about growing up. I mean, I grew up in the drug era, right? When
mhm.
crack was introduced to the black community, right? I saw it firsthand how it tore up the black community.
Black
I
community.
saw,
Yeah, yeah,
right? I saw sons selling, drugs to,
yeah. Auntie,
whoever it may be,
whoever.
and yeah, whoever, right? I mean, I saw it firsthand, and
Right, right.
so you may be good at doing that, but there's consequence that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of what we talked about last week. There's consequence that comes with it because you may be seeing it in when I was telling in this conversation with Chris Taylor last week. It's like, but growing up in that time, people were like, okay, you may have grew up in a single parent household. You didn't have, dad around. Mom was working 2 or 3 jobs. You got little siblings. So what do? Rent's
Right.
paid. You need to have food. You're tired of eating, oatmeal, and you're tired of eating, sugar rice, and all these other things, right? Like, hey,
Right.
ketchup
Right.
sandwiches,
Yeah,
right? Like,
butter sandwiches, all
hey,
types.
hey, right?
What grilled cheese,
Ramen
ramen noodles.
noodles, government grilled cheese sandwiches,
I'm
but
trying to tell you,
cereal
cereal.
with the white box and cornflakes.
Oh man. Oh
Right?
man.
But
Yeah.
so somebody had to step out and be like, okay, I'm the man of the house. You 15, 16, you're like, okay, I'm the man of the house. Let me figure out how to go make some money so I can help take care of moms and the family. And you may be good at doing that. And I was telling
Yeah.
Chris in the last interview, what's so crazy is that those skills that you even learn in doing all of that are still transferable
Period. Period.
in it's the period. They're still transferable. Like, yeah, I
It's still,
mean,
it's still dope. Just wait on another scale. You have a whole
oh,
legit scale
right.
right here.
Which is
You
so
know, but
crazy.
and folks don't know how to do numbers. The thing about
Right.
it, if we want to do something, we have to put our mind into it. We
Mm-hmm.
have to put our mind into it. We have to
That's
put
right.
our heart into it. Sometimes the body don't let you. Sometimes the body don't let you. But if you
Hmm.
put your mind to it, you prepare yourself properly. I mean, how can you not, be successful? My thing is
Mm-hmm.
time. Time is of the essence. Don't get me wrong. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, but don't be discouraged. You know,
Right.
don't be heard, you know, and at the end of the day, it's always more than one avenue. They
Mm-hmm.
always creating more avenues. They're doing NFTs right now and digital
Look,
currencies and
look.
things of that nature. And this is all knowledge that's just coming within, just is at you. My thing
Mm-hmm.
is, anybody doing this though? Is anybody
Mm.
look? Anybody using this though? You know, that be my thing. And is anybody spreading it? Is anybody teaching? You know, and to a certain extent, you
Right.
know. And don't get me wrong, is anybody listening? You
Mm-hmm.
know, all that comes with it. In the world that we live in, if you don't adapt, it's only two ways it's gonna go.
Right.
You know, you're either
Right.
gonna adapt this way or adapt that way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
either you want right now or you see a willing in the future. You know,
Mm.
and that be the thing, and not getting caught up in what might hinder you today. That's a life
Right.
lesson learned. It ain't a
Life
failure.
lesson.
It's a life lesson learned. You know,
That's
you
right.
got to go through certain things. True, I done been in prison.
Mm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
the thing about it is that's my struggle. You
Right.
know, around the ones I grew up within this. I mean, they in the recording studio. You know, and that's only for like 30 minutes to an hour, and we back in the street.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the thing about it, when you go through them challenges, don't get me wrong, never leave you. Because once you sit down for a period of time, you're gonna find yourself rapping. You're gonna find
Mm.
yourself writing. You're gonna find yourself drawing, creating, manifesting,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And
Yeah.
see,
No, I think that's important.
it's important. Period. It's life lessons learned. But if you look at it as a failure, you can't do nothing but deter from what you do.
That's right.
You
No,
know,
I
because
tell.
go
Look,
ahead.
no. So I tell people kind of what you were talking about earlier is that you were talking about talent, and talent can only. Oh man, maybe it's just my perspective, but I've seen it over and over again. Talent can only get you so far.
Go
You know what I'm
far.
saying? Like if you're not putting in the time, energy, and effort to do whatever needs to be done, talent's only going to get you to a certain place.
Right.
But then what about the skill set that you have developed? What about the knowledge that you have gained? And it's not just knowledge. You know, I firmly believe that anybody can gain knowledge, right? I can
Right,
open up a
right,
book, I can
right,
take a class, I
right.
can, go to YouTube University, I can do whatever I need to do in order to gain knowledge. But if I don't
Execute.
do nothing with it,
Gotta
it just becomes a lot of stuff that I learned, right? And so I have the phrase, knowledge is power. Applied knowledge is power because
right,
I'm now applying whatever I've learned to the situation that I'm currently in, and I am working and executing at a different level than I was if I just knew some information. Like I know what a fuselage is, but who cares, right?
yeah.
I mean, different people know a whole lot of stuff, but
All
who
that stuff.
cares?
Yeah, yeah,
If you're not
yeah, yeah.
applying that stuff, then I mean,
I mean,
it.
and then it's the era that you live in too, because you can be
Mm,
applying it and nobody else applying it, and it looks like what can I say? It looks
mm-hmm.
they call it crazy. They call it quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you're talking about, quote unquote. What he's saying? He sound out this world. But those things right there becomes another deterioration, and at the end of the day, it hinders. Period. Period. And my thing is, you have to turn that negativity into positivity. Period.
That's right.
You know.
And the
I mean,
positivity.
if you do it, you'll do more. Instead of making one hit, you make 5 hits. You make
Mm,
10 hits. You know,
mm-hmm.
because you earn something. Don't get me wrong. Take everything as constructive criticism,
Right.
but
So,
know.
so now go
Oh, go
ahead.
ahead.
I want you to say what
I
you was
was
gonna say.
just about to say, just know how to decipher constructive criticism.
Mm, mm,
Mm.
know how to decipher constructive criticism. That's part of it too, knowing how to decipher the constructive criticism, but also understanding the intent the person
Vision, understand.
has behind their criticism, right? Because a lot of people who want to give you constructive criticism are really malicious in their intent.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
break it
saying?
down.
Like I'm gonna give you criticism so I can, hinder you, so I can break you down, so I can cause dissension in your mind so that you don't, pursue whatever it is that you want. right? And so I always tell people, evaluate the other person's intent before you listen to the feedback that a person gives you,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, man, I remember always telling this story when I was, well, I can't say when I was working in corporate America because I still do, but
As we all.
right, you know what I'm saying? Like, so there was a situation where I was, so my background, people know, they watch the show, is my background is in organizational development and leadership, right? So I've trained leaders from Fortune 50, 100 organizations, all the way down to frontline staff, blah, blah, blah. But I remember I was at this one job, and one of the guys who was at the job was giving me feedback. And I just happened to just really realize he was giving me feedback because he was jealous. Not saying that I was all that and doing what I was doing, I was,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I could tell he was coming from, well, you know
The
what, you didn't
bodily
do this,
expression.
this, 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 and this right. I could just tell by his body language. It's like,
Mhm.
so read, decipher, the constructive criticism somebody gives to you, man. That's dope. I wish I had my gems thing on here because that right there. Let me see. Do I got my? No, I don't. I don't have it on here. But that's a gem right there, brother.
Yeah,
That people need to gravitate and listen to. Don't take everything. Feedback is a gift. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a gift. Take the
yeah.
parts out of it that fit. Throw the rest of that stuff away if it don't. Like,
Hey,
yeah.
just like the comment and the views and things of that nature. You know, I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
have a positive impact and they have a negative impact. You know,
Mm.
comments and all of that stuff. It's the
That's
same
right.
type of life. You know, there's good and then there's bad. And then my thing
Mm-hmm.
is, they take you to the next level. Don't let it go destroy another person.
That's
All
right.
right, because they talk bad about you today. Now you going over here and talk bad about somebody.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
don't
No.
let it
Yeah. Nah.
that you follow. They follow to break it down. If somebody broke you down, you want
Mm-hmm. Now you
you
want to break
know,
somebody else down. Nah. That's
yeah,
not. That's not how it
yeah.
works. Yeah.
A
Nah.
team, and success cannot be built like that. You know,
Mm.
and if it is, then it cannot be nothing but a fall off at the end. You
That's
know,
right.
or something that's gonna withhold you from taking it to a whole entire different level, from music to
Mm-hmm.
acting, or from writing
Mm-hmm.
to filmmaking. You know, the thing
That's right.
about that, so it's like push on and push on and learn. Push on
And
and push
learn.
on.
That's right.
You
Because you
know,
never know where something's going to take you, right? We got a lot of people who started off as rappers. Now, you got a ton of people who are. I mean, look
oh
at
yeah,
50 Cent for an example. I mean, look at 50 Cent for an example. How many shows does this man have on TV at one time? I don't know. But he,
hey, hey. See,
it seemed like every
but he
month he coming
teaches.
out with a show.
He teaches.
He
And the
teaches
thing
too. That's
about it,
right.
he enlightens. And the thing about that is, you have to see what he's telling you. You got to pay attention and
Mm-hmm.
listen, because he not only telling you, but he's showing you, as every artist showing you in a way.
That's right.
You know, and if a person don't open up his eyes and his ears and think it's nonsense and don't go searching, you got to seek the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then listen, the constructive criticism. You
That's
know,
right.
and then let it build you. And like I say, know what you want to do. Know how you
Mm-hmm.
want it. That what comes even with us. It's growing with a purpose, GUAP fam, and we take on every time. We
Mm.
take on everything, like from clothing brands and merches. That's everything. But we talking about cars. We talking about cutting hair. We talking about dogs. You
Right.
know, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like GUAP fam
So,
exotics, and we
oh
breed
wow,
books.
okay.
So it's a lot of things in the entertainment in his business and learning it and growing that foundation.
Mm-hmm. So
Hmm.
so 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 let's take a step back for a moment. What's the overall mission of GUAP Family Entertainment? What are you guys looking to achieve? What are you looking to do? And kind of
Well,
what are some of the things that you're doing now to kind of achieve that?
with GUAP FAM Entertainment, it's like we taking it step by step, learning, processing, and growing. You know, growing together, taking every network and putting it together, combine talents, putting it together. And then not only that constructive criticism I was talking about, being able to sit down and grow within yourself and have an understanding, with every man, because every man don't agree with every man. But if you can see something and grow together and gain and sustain, live life, without the worry about money, without the worry about bills, but growing. And we putting that together as you put rules in place, you know, because without business comes with policies. So putting these in place and even taking people from poverty level, any level, any mindset, and putting it together, and taking them talents, and me learning from the talent. This person learning from my talent. This person learning from his talent. You know, and putting that together to grow successful, not only in the entertainment, but with any field, any occupation that we good at. Like I said, we dogs, cars, you know, we'll drop a motor. Let me tell you, you know.
Right, that's right.
And that's just being real about us in this entertainment. Our music is our passion, but just like music is in every store, music is in every business down there. Excuse my language, but at the end of the day, it is. And we got to look at these things.
That's right.
We got to look at these things. As long as we look at these things and see these things for the value that they worth, we can get the major value out of it. You know, no matter where you from. You know,
no matter where you from.
No matter where you be, a hood nigga. Don't let what the other hood dictate. You feel me? You gonna let somebody else's actions and words dictate, even though it might bother, but let it be something that, okay, I'm gonna show. Let me show improvement. You know,
well, you know, I mean, when you think about the society of America, I mean, we live in a comparative-based identity world, and so we're always trying to compare ourselves to, hey, look what they doing. You know, what am I doing? Am I doing what they doing? Look, I see they successful. How can I be successful? What are the things that I can do to be successful? You know, how can I, you know, and so we go through a portion of our lives comparing ourselves to other people. And not really understanding that they have their own journey, their own walk, all the things, their own struggles that they went through. Shoot, sometimes I look at successful people and I'm like, I don't want your struggles. I don't know if I would want to go through the struggles that you went through to get to where you were. And people don't really see, we never see that side. We see the success.
That's the bad side. Nobody's gonna say that he had to sleep on the couch. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna say, well, I had to be over here in this house. I laid back in the car. You feel me? Tell you that, you know, on a one-on-one basis anyway, you know, on that type of vibe. So it's like they're always going to portray something, you know. And the thing about society is going to put the same portray on that. Society is going to put the same statistic on that because it comes from a creative standpoint, you know, other than realizing that if you don't put yourself in the box, you won't be categorized as that. You know, don't get me wrong, you have to wear your suit and tie. You know, don't get me wrong, there's a point in time and a place and a season for a lot of things. You know, but to be successful, you have to know these things. I'm gonna go through these heartache. This ain't gonna be a hit. This ain't gonna sound right. I might have to switch it up and, you know, let somebody else take control of the wheel while I do this over here. It's like figuring this thing out when it comes in life, because it's going to get advanced. You know, sometimes it get advanced beyond our mental capacity. You know, our intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they got to dumb it down for us. So it's like, seeing that, you know, and seeing that, you know, just look at what the world coming in. Like, the holidays ain't the same. So when it comes to this passion and adaptation and music, you know, and talent, all of it's one, and that's what we can't forget within all of this. Within music, entertainment, independent, self-proprietorship, business, life, like certain things we can't forget. That networking, teamwork, and knowing your value, your self-worth, knowing yourself, right? And knowing those around you. And the thing about it is knowing what you can take. You knowing what you can take, knowing what's on your plate. You know, because if we don't know what's on our plate, then we'll end up putting some steak with some eggs, some lost potatoes, you know, and we trying to eat all this and it ain't gonna digest right.
That's right.
So
that's right. We're trying to eat all the crazy stuff.
Yeah. That comes with clout. That comes from like clout chasing. or
Right. Oh,
things of that
don't
nature.
get me
Well,
started with the whole cloud chasing.
you know, you feel me? And
Mm-hmm.
and, and the thing about it is, trust me, in life you ain't really got a cloud chase nowadays. Some gonna come at you.
Right.
You
That-
feel me?
that-
So,
that's true.
you know, it's just like because you'll get what you find, and you might not like what you find.
You may not like what you find. You know,
You
I even
know,
say that to. I even say that. Well, I don't. I am not the originator of the saying. DMX really is the originator of pretty much the whole thing. Is uh, he did a performance on. I think it was like back in the day they used to have that Russell Simmons Def Comedy Jam. Was it Def Comedy
yeah.
Jam
But
with
no,
Russell
hold on.
Simmons? And so DMX got up there and did a whole poetry thing. He was talking about how people say they want to get into the industry, but you may not be prepared for what this industry has.
Oh
And
yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah.
a lot of people aren't built for that. They think they want that, but once they find
Yeah,
out, they like,
it's not
oh
what you
nah. They're like, oh, what I gotta do, what I gotta get, what? And I always tell people, the
Yeah,
music
yeah.
industry is, I mean, look what Issa Rae came out and said about the music industry being like full of snakes. It's the worst industry that she's ever seen. And it's like, it is true. It doesn't have to be that way, but it is
It does.
true. It does, and that's the thing. It doesn't have to be that way. You know, I forgot
It
who I was
does.
talking
It
to.
does.
Now go ahead.
Itself.
It
Itself.
doesn't.
It
It
doesn't
doesn't.
have to be that way. See, but the thing
Right.
about it is, greed, greed in personal situations, personal problems. You know how they say separate your business from the personal. You know, it's kind of hard to do that. It's kind of difficult, but it's not all of it. You got to separate your emotions.
Mm.
You know, that's the thing. You have to separate your emotions from all of it, and
Mm.
definitely your personal and your business. You know, your personal emotions can't be the same emotions that you got for your business.
Right.
It's gonna
It really can.
yeah. So that's when they say separate your personal from your business, separate your emotions. You know what I'm saying? And get into the game.
Mm.
I mean, if you separate your emotions from the business, then you'll see the treachery. You
Hmm.
know,
I mean,
if you
that's just
set
being objective. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah.
that's just being clearly objective.
I mean, my personal opinion. You know, you just have to
Hmm.
perceive and see it. Because if you greedy, then when they hand you 100,000, you just gonna sign a contract.
Right. You were
You
like,
got
oh, I got 100, oh,
100,000,
100,000? Man,
and he gonna give me this and that. But
wait,
don't know
what?
you gotta wake up every morning. Don't know
Right.
when that phone go off, you need to be in that studio. When that car outside, you need to be getting in it. Put some water on your face. It's time for you to get in the booth.
Time to go.
You
That's
know,
right.
so when it get real, you know, it is a whole different circumstance.
But you know, that's
So
why we hear all those. That's why we hear all those stories about people today having all these major issues in their contracts
yeah,
because a lot of times they just throw this wad of money in your face, and it's like you got all this money, you got 100,000, like what's good, and you're like, oh shoot, let me just go and sign, and you didn't really read that contract, and it's like, but that
yeah,
contract got some stuff in there about control compositions,
mm,
about your terms, which you need to be looking at. You need to be looking at
your
everything that's in
performance
that
rights,
contract.
everything.
Performance rights, all your oh my gosh, all your master use,
See, but
your
people don't
image.
learn.
Oh my
Yeah, the
goodness.
image.
Yeah. Oh no, there's a thing in there in your contract that says image and likeness,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
talks about pretty much who has ownership
A
of your
brand.
image and your likeness. Oh yeah,
It's your brand. You are your brand as an
you
artist.
are your brand.
And so my
That's
thing
right.
is like folk. That's why when it comes to the team that I manage in GUAP FAM Entertainment, and not only us, because you have more than just our labels. You know,
Mm,
it's different labels within GUAP FAM Entertainment that make us an umbrella. You know,
okay.
because it's different talent. You know, as far as Money Bond Records, Checked Up Entertainment, shit, Bam Bam Music Group. These things are connected together to make Rock Fam Entertainment what it is, and putting this
Mm,
team together. You know, putting this team together is like constructing, and
mm,
can't give up because this man or they may feel like this or this may be. It ain't gonna be an understanding. And if you don't learn, I tell my team, learn the game, know the game, learn the game. You feel me? And
yeah.
and with a team, you have to constantly have a reminder. Constantly have a reminder as a team. Because if you don't, then somebody's going to feel some different type of way. And the thing about it, some people expect constant reminders. Some people need constant reminders because you don't know who's in whose ear. So my thing is, if this person has a proposition, that person has a proposition. He has the money now. This person don't have the money now, and you take this, then you might miss out on opportunity. You
Mm-hmm.
miss out on real game. That's the thing. So it's like it get deep. It get deep because
Oh, I'm
when you
sure.
when you don't know about publishing and just with writing, that's just with business. That's just like when with sales tax and
Right.
knowing your numbers and any occupation. That's I don't care if it's construction to accounting. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
know the behind the scenes, then of course you can be guaranteed the IRS is gonna knock on your door.
If that right, they're gonna come for you. Like you need. Oh my gosh, man! I'm glad you said that because people need to know those numbers. They need to understand economics, and a
Yeah,
lot of time they need to understand micro and macroeconomics when it comes to music. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of people don't really want to focus on that. But you are a business, as I tell everybody, you are a
yeah,
business, you are a brand. What business does not understand their profit and loss, economics, right? Financial management. What businesses don't understand that? All businesses do. And so you as a business have to understand that. Now, you don't have to be a master at it,
yeah,
but you have
yeah,
to have some understanding
yeah.
of it. That way you can still hire your business manager and still be able to do an audit, understand where your money is going, and to read those financial statements that your business manager is going to be sending you and understand where all of your money is going that your label or your manager or whoever is shelling out into these different
Yeah.
directions. You
And
gotta know.
Yeah, and that's what me and my CEO, Man Floyd, we always speak about that. And far as numbers, rates, team, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully we'll be in touch bases with him. But we talk about these numbers
Yeah,
and
for
these
sure.
rates because that makes us successful. You
Mm-hmm.
know, or that can bring a whole business crashing down.
That's
And if
right.
you don't know the difference rates and different things that different platforms, this thing is getting virtual. Life is getting virtual. Life is getting technical. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that cars driving themselves.
Right. Shoot, we
Okay,
got
I mean,
cars flying. We got cars flying now. I just saw one the other day. I was like, well, I didn't physically see a car fly, but I
but
saw on
hope.
somewhere a line. Right. I
You
saw. So I was like, oh, we
hold
gonna get into that age.
on. hey, hey, and that's the
Right. Back to
thing.
the Future.
And so let's think of the streaming and the
Mm-hmm.
music streaming and these
That's right.
NFTs and what people are selling now. You sell
Right.
yourself. You are your brand. But if you don't understand that you are a brand, then how can your business excel in the market? Because
Mm-hmm.
you don't believe in yourself and your brand, then it won't be where it needs to be at. It won't
Right.
be exploited. It needs to be exploited,
Right.
to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Man. So
it's hard. It's hard. It's difficult, but it's life.
yeah, yeah. Look, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to somebody. So I'm gonna give a shout out to this artist, producer, entrepreneur, financial guru that I know named YFRS, right? Based out in Cali. Had him on the show. Why you just mentioned NFTs.
Hmm.
In that interview that I had with him, he was the first person I ever heard talk about this concept of an NFT. It wasn't even called NFTs when he was talking about it. He was talking about, he said, just imagine if somebody was able to own shares of a song. I was like, oh, that'd be awesome. What if
Hmm.
somebody's able to own pieces of something? Like I put out a song and now you're able to own, and I can exchange it on the stock market. I mean, he was going in and out. I mean, not
Right,
in and
right,
out, but he was going
right.
in deep on this topic. And I
Yeah,
was like, look, I'm in an interview like this, like, teach me, Sensei,
yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
want to
It's good.
know.
Good game.
And man, and I kid you not, a couple months later, this whole thing about NFTs started popping up. It's like NFTs. And I don't really know how I personally feel about NFTs. I think Because I thought NFTs were something that was so valuable
Right, right.
that it was a one of a kind, so valuable thing that it was like the Wu
It's
Tang
rare,
album.
rare, like
It's
rare.
like the one edition of the Wu Tang album,
Yeah.
right?
See, but
That they made. See, to me,
it's,
that's an
it's all
NFT.
it's all
Right.
imagine. It's image. It's image. It's image. It's a
I thought that
brand.
was an NFT. Now you got people selling bread with monkeys on it, and like, oh, it's an NFT, and I'm like, what? That's an NFT? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
okay,
but
it's
okay, some platforms do let you do like unlock or show different things once you buy it that you would never see if you
right,
didn't buy it. I mean, that's like an unlocked box. You can do that yourself,
right, right,
selling
right.
off Spotify or something. I mean, that's spelling off Shopify. Excuse me, but
Mm-hmm.
other than that, it's like it's still a developing game. And the
Right.
thing about something that's developing is like crypto. You know,
Hey, they better watch out.
hey, so when you have a developing game, you have a possibility of a crash.
Mm-hmm.
You have a possibility of advancement too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
I mean,
going
it's a
to say that.
50-50.
Yeah, yeah. You know, especially with society and
Mm-hmm.
everything else make everything what it is. You know, hey, we got different genres because society made different genres.
Right.
You know, so I mean, we gotta think like that.
We got
Rap
different
is
genres, sub-genres,
yeah,
sub-genres. It's like,
and then it
what?
always comes with more. It comes with more. It's always
Mm-hmm.
you know. So don't think that just because a person's not a part of don't want to be a part of this, a part of that. Don't think that you're not a part because
Mm-hmm.
if you select something, you fall into that category. Period.
Right.
You know,
That's
so
right.
it's about learning. Everything in life is about advancing and learning. If you don't, then
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's either about it's the I hate to say it nowadays you got the has and the has nots even more than
Hmm.
a brother trying to pick up a brother, or a sister trying to guide a sister. You know,
Yep.
so it's the world is not the same. I tell you that.
World is not the same. That's
Oh,
right. So
Thanksgiving,
let's.
ain't Thanksgiving no more.
Turkey look like turkey, but it may not be turkey.
I'm
But
trying to tell you.
so let me ask you this. So we've been talking for a while. I'm interested in finding out more about your own journey through this whole process, right? So what were some of the unique challenges that you personally experienced, and what are some things that you learned from those, or how did you overcome some of those personal challenges for yourself?
I mean, well, personal challenges is just the poverty itself. You know, my personal challenge came from just growing up. So the personal challenges been from the start, but it been an enlightenment because as you grow up and you go through your situations, you write more, you do more of your extracurricular activity, you know. So you develop that skill. And as you develop that skill, then you take off. And that's what I did. I took all my trials, even from me having to sustain and maintain in life, growing up on east side of Atlanta, Eastwick, County Road, all over Decatur in Atlanta. It's like you learn to just grow it in. And the challenges that I faced, I just took that, motivated myself. I motivated myself in writing. Right now I have 2 books, out, straight from the mind, and it's poetry, a lot of poetry. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I took them challenges and I grow. But I still face challenges now because as you have business and as you take on every new obstacle or as you learn something, there's something else behind that door.
Mm.
So even with this as entertainment and me managing and producing, I learned how to engineer in 6 months, and now I can make a whole track. Mix a little bit and put it together. So
That's
the
right.
thing about it, in that amount of time putting it together and growing together, bringing artists together, and expanding this business. You know, the challenge is keeping the team and making things what it's supposed to be and what we all know it can be and be manifested. And that's the thing about growing, having an understanding, the knowledge, and that's a constant struggle.
Mm.
Keeping teamwork, keeping teamwork and having understanding amongst each other.
That's right.
That's the struggle within just proceeding and
Mm.
accelerating. You know, so
Right.
it's like a minor misunderstanding can be big. You know, so it's like if you don't have understanding and communication, which is like I said, that's a struggle now. You know, even with a lot of progression, there's a lot of unseen things that with every business that
Mm-hmm.
you have to sit down and talk about. I don't care if it's a spill in the break room. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of things that comes as challenges because it's about time. You know, you can't get time back that you can put in business when you should supposed to put it in business, but you have to schedule a meeting, or
Right.
you have you have to organize this, or
Mm-hmm.
or tune this in or tune that out. All of that comes with the challenges that I face. You
Right.
know, and even growing because it's still things that is created. It's things people go to
Mm.
court every day. Laws are updated every day. You
Every
know,
day, I'm
so it's
sure.
like if you don't understand and if you don't stay down and learn the game,
Mm-hmm.
digest it, execute, properly execute, then it stays into a stagnant. It be stagnated. It's a revolving door.
That's right.
So so I think it's like motivation and keeping that motivation. You
Mm.
know, that's
Because
the biggest.
not only do you got to keep yourself motivated, you got to keep the people that you are working with motivated as well. And
Right, right.
so when I say that, right? Because anytime I teach a class at work, I'm always asking the question, can you truly motivate another person? And
Mm.
everybody always tells me, yes, I can. I can motivate somebody else. I was like, oh, you can. You can really go make somebody do something else from a motivational perspective.
I mean,
Mm,
it's like
mm,
we live in a world where you have to show and tell.
right. And that's
You
all
know,
we can do. That is,
yeah,
and that's all we can do. We can show a person through our actions, through our behavior, through the environment that we're creating. They can then want to be motivated based on all those things. But I mean, I'm personally myself can't really motivate another person. I can like, yeah, come on, all day. But if you ain't moving,
like the saying, you can lead a horse to the
horse to
water, but
water, you can't
you
make
can't
them
make
drink. That's right.
you know.
I mean, and that really is the story behind motivation. And
Yeah,
so
really, really.
yeah, I mean, you can lead that. You can lead your team. You can lead, and that's the thing for you is because now you are in a leadership capacity for the people
Mm,
that are in your collective. And so
right, right.
there's additional pressures and struggles and issues and challenges that you have to face that nobody else really does. You and your partner. You have
Right,
to face
right.
those challenges, not everybody else, right? And so they're looking to you as the leader, like, hey, and you said it, communication is
Yeah.
key.
Number one key. Number one key.
It's key. It's key. Oh my gosh, because so when I teach communication at work, as you said, one piece of information that's misunderstood can cause so
So much
much.
so
Not
much
even just so much from people, but it's tangible. It's money
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
It's
mine too.
money as well. Yeah, yeah,
That's time.
definitely. It's,
Yeah, so
that's right.
it's like you have to have that, and you got to have understanding within that communication, because
Mm-hmm.
everybody don't know how to word everything properly. A
That's
person
right.
might be a person might be too hood, a person might be too proper, and it's like if
Mm-hmm.
they in that communication, then a person might feel insulted. So you got to have
Right.
understanding in that communication.
Right. And I always tell people, whoever you're speaking with, ensure that you are speaking at their level, right? It's
Yeah,
not necessarily, if you're proper, if you hood, but it's making sure that you're communicating in a way that is understandable. I always tell
understand.
people, if whatever you get ready to communicate, go communicate it to a 6-year-old.
Yeah, yeah, right.
And
Okay.
and and it,
I say that was a bad choice of words. I said hood and proper. I like it. I like that. I like that statement. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
because everybody don't know what they speak. It's just a category of that we put in.
That's
So
right. It's just
so
a cat,
you
right? So
mm,
I mean, but when you think about communication, even geographically, just in the United States, you
Mm.
know, we have the perspective that people up north speak very, very fast, right? And that people in the
Yeah.
South speak slow. People on the West Coast speak, real laid back and chill. People
Right.
on the
Right.
East
Right.
Coast
Right.
kind of have a blend between all of it. People in the Midwest are kind of like they got their own different dialect, but
Bingo.
it's
Right.
finding commonality in how
And also,
you can
yeah.
speak to all people in that capacity, right? So I understand if I'm in New York, I understand. Okay, they may be a little more fast paced, so I can't sit back and be like, yeah, that's not, no. I need to be like, okay, cool. Let me get my thought across, really concise, direct, and right to the point. But that's what I mean by a person has to understand in that capacity how they communicate. I always tell people, if you're going to communicate something, go communicate it to a child first. And if
Right.
that child understands, everybody will understand. Every single person.
And if they don't, they just don't want to.
Because they probably don't want to. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
You're right. You're right.
they probably don't want to. Man, so we've been talking about you. We've been talking about GUAP Fam, all the things
Mm.
that what I really am enjoying about this whole conversation is just all the gems and wisdom that you've been dropping this entire time. Right, really coming from the thought process and in every direction. And I greatly appreciate that because it's like you don't really hear
Yeah.
that a lot,
It
those
needs to be
types of
heard.
gems, that type of information, but it needs to be heard, right? And that's kind of the mission of what we at We Create Music TV is trying to do is continuously, give this platform a voice to others so they can hear that wisdom and that knowledge as well. So in that same vein, what advice would you give people who want to get into this music industry? What would you tell them?
I would say get familiar with it. I would say do your research. Like the people that express that, they're not lying and they're not just running game. Do your research. Do multiple research. Make sure you research two things about the same topic. Find that avenue, find your lane and your understanding, and get all the understanding. Know where money generates from. Know where currency come from, and then have a team that you know that's gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Or should I say, fulfill the duties that's needed. You know, and play their position because that's what comes with growing. You need that foundation backbone to excel, and that's what advice I give.
Mm-hmm.
Learn and don't let what your eyes see, you know, make it be what
Mm-hmm.
you know. So that be the thing, because you only have sometimes you only have that first impression. There's some
Right.
there's you don't get a second chance on first impressions. You just have another way to bring it. You only have another
Mm-hmm.
way to bring it or to change a person's mind. You know. So my thing is know that and don't let your first impression on what you see be the first thing to grab.
Mm.
You know the reasons why. You know, if it sounds too good to be true, I'm not gonna say 9 times out of 10 that it is, but know why you feel that way. Know why you personally feel why it's too good to be true. Know what your intuition brings, you know, and enlightenment is the key. Enlightenment is the key and networking is the key. You know, and a person who can feel what's genuine, you know, and that's just being all the way real.
That's right, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you started talking about knowing how to make money. Most people don't even know there's around 42 revenue streams that people can earn money from. I'm gonna do a video on that. But most people don't know there's all these different revenue streams. But we get
Yeah.
so focused on,
That tunnel
oh,
vision.
I gotta
That
do
tunnel
this.
vision. Yeah.
Like producer, tell producer, they're like, I gotta work with an artist. Well, not necessarily.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know how
No,
much money exists out there if you're not working with an artist. There's other ways to make money.
see, but that be that tunnel vision. That tunnel
Mm-hmm.
vision sometimes prevent us from expanding.
Mm-hmm.
Know? And then sometimes it's that feeling. It's that feeling of getting out your box.
Right.
You know, getting out what you used to. And you so used to is that this
So,
avenue might not go what you how you playing. So you don't want to get out your box, and that's where you
Right.
got, that's what we got to understand and go off of that feeling, that intuition, that we
Hmm.
all have. You know what I'm saying?
But it
That's
goes
the
back
way.
to what, yeah, it goes back to what they see too.
Yeah,
It goes back
yeah,
to it
yeah.
goes back to what they see. Oh, Hit Boy just got I think Hit Boy got producer of the year. Oh, I need to be the producer for artists because I need to be producer of the year. I need to get a Grammy. I need to get, trust me, look,
Yeah,
I know a ton of people. Let me go back. This is why I always tell people you need to clearly define what success
yes,
means
yeah.
to you.
Mhm.
Clearly define. I know many people who aren't famous, but I'm gonna tell you they don't go to a 9 to 5
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like your boy
yeah,
do, right? I'm gonna tell you
yeah,
they're not going to a 9 to 5. They don't go
yeah.
to. I mean, they can get up in the morning whenever time they want to, go to bed whenever time they want to. They can do whatever, take their family whenever they want to. I mean, they
Right,
may not
right.
be a mega superstar,
Yeah.
but they are living what is success for them. So
For
I will
them,
always
yeah.
say, find out what success is for you, and that's what you work towards. Like I said, you may not want what comes with some of that stuff.
Yeah,
You may
hey,
have to look
hey,
back and go, oh,
hey,
wait a minute.
we get that all the time. So,
Mm.
so it's like it's like, can you break them barriers? Can
Mm-hmm.
you break them barriers? The thing about it, every obstacle can be overcome. The thing about, do you want to?
Mm. That's right.
That's all it is to it. You can't think that you're gonna go where you got to be there for 8 hours. Well, I just want to go in there for 4,
That's right.
and you schedule for 8.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I
Like, now
mean,
you're going to get to work.
yeah, it don't work like that. It don't work like that.
That's
So
right.
that's the thing about it. Knowing what you get yourself into, getting familiar with what
Mm-hmm.
you're into, and know what team you have. Have somebody to tell
Mm.
you that, hey, that ain't good, right? You know it's a
Mm-hmm.
reason. It don't make sense, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody, everybody can't be like,
That's right.
oh, everybody can't be like, oh, money, get it, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause somebody just
That's
might just
right.
want you to get it for you, get them something.
All right. See? And they may use you and then discard you after that and be like, well, I got what I got. So
I
I don't
got what
need you
I
no
got.
more. That's right.
They ain't even in the booth with you no more.
Right. They sure ain't.
So
Man, so before we even, I mean, there's one thing we got to talk about before we even end our
yeah,
time today, and
yeah,
that's
right.
GUAP FAM's musical projects. Like, so what's
Right.
in the works? What are you working on? What did you recently drop? Tell all of
Well,
us
we
about
got
the
a lot of
music that you're
things.
putting out.
We got a lot of things coming for this year. Like I said, we being on the scene in 2021, kind of like, even though, like I said, we've been doing this, like GUAP FAM Entertainment, been GUAP FAM Entertainment for a decade and a half almost, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as establishment, and we're really trying to broadcast this year, 2022 gonna be something else. You about to see a lot of videos from our
Hey,
CEO, Matt Man Floyd. You can catch it on the Real GUAP Fam YouTube, you know. But we're gonna have a lot of things coming this year. We got GUAP FAM Summer Jam streaming on all platforms. You can find the entire umbrellas on Spotify, Amazon Music, Deezer, Tidal. And we got to come out with 2022 GFE hits. So we got a lot of things coming. Playlist value is on, as far as the GUAP Fam. We're on all playlists and YouTube. Uh, Instagram, you can find GUAP Fam playlist. Uh, Check out all the music. It got all the links right there. GUAP Fam playlist on Instagram, Facebook, the real GUAP Fam. You can check that out on YouTube. See behind the scenes action on how we rock. And we're gonna be out there. We on the scene. We on the scene. We got a lot of projects coming up. A lot of videos. Tap in, see what we got. We're gonna have some contests coming up by the summer. There's a lot of great things. A lot of great things, a lot of great talent. Like I said, we expanded. It's more than music. It's more than music. We talking about cars. We talking about GUAP Fam exotics, bullies, dogs. Like, we got to open the door. And it's a recording studio, so book a time. You know, Link always in the bio.
that's right. Yeah, I mean, see, that's the thing. I mean, that's the beauty. It's a recorded. It's not even just an entertainment collective. You got a studio too, and you are bringing in other people too, and that's a good way to do it too. Like, you know what, I like that person's work ethic. Let's bring them into the
Yeah,
collective as
yeah,
well, right? So it kind of gives you that perspective, but it also opens up the door for you to do other things in the community too. I guess.
yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
that's the main thing. That is the
yeah.
main thing. Like if you can line the community up, you
Mm,
know, and not only here, everywhere you touch, if you can inspire and line the community up. That's why I said we're gonna have contests, but free studio time. We have a GoFundMe so where we can pull the artist in, yeah, and have
mm-hmm.
engineer come through when me myself not available or one of ours or not. So we try to open up the doorways, especially for the things that comes after us. You
Right.
know, so the thing about that, we can do that from everywhere we touch, city to city or anywhere. As
Mm,
far as having things together. You know, me myself personally, I have a couple of ideas. That we're gonna expand for the community.
that's
The
what's up.
more we can do, especially in the situation nowadays.
Hmm.
Shoot, the better for the future. You
That's
know,
right. The better for the future. Yeah, I mean, because that's leaving that legacy, right? So that's
yeah,
GUAP Fam's portion of the legacy that they're leaving within that community. And
yeah.
I think that's critically important because the more that you can do in the community, the more that legacy lives. It lives
Yeah,
on. Yeah,
yeah. And
that's
it's
right.
a tribute. It's like it's different when you can touch a person's. You might touch a person's ear. You might touch their
Mm.
mind, but when you can touch their heart,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
that's
what I'm saying.
different level.
That's a whole different story.
Hmm.
'Cause grasping them more beyond music itself. I'm touching something that a person they didn't even know they was thinking.
Right.
A give back. When you have those type of organizations in place, when you have that
Hmm.
type of government in place where that is an objective.
Mm. That's
So
right.
that's what
Yeah.
that's what our fam entertainment about, bringing it together, networking, growing with the purpose. And at the end of the day, get wealthy and prosper.
That's right.
So
I like that. Growing with a purpose, getting wealth, and getting well. Okay, as you said, getting wealthy and prosperous. See, look at that.
get wealthy and
Yes,
prosper. Get wealthy and
yes.
prosper. That's the
Look at
note.
that.
Because
Got to know.
that's the goal. That's the
Mm,
goal.
that's the
That's
goal.
in almost every person's life, to
That's
get
right.
wealthy and prosper. Like, and that's not only within money, that's within mind. That's within
Hmm.
yourself. You get wealthy. You grow within that.
That's right.
All of us in one. That's guap. That's guap. That's
That's
when we say
guap.
guap. Because
That's
guap
right.
don't
That's
stop.
guap. The guap don't. The
Yeah.
guap don't stop. Like that. Look, I'm not an artist, so I'm not even gonna try to sit up here and try to,
Hey,
try to rap or
you're,
bring
you're
anything in.
talented.
Yeah, nah.
You're talented. You want
Yeah, yeah, but I ain't a rapper though.
everybody.
But but man, so how can people connect with you? How can they connect with GUAP FAM Entertainment? So kind of
like
give us the rundown, and so they can
Well,
check
like I said,
you guys out.
we on Google. We on Google. You can GUAP FAM Entertainment on Google. We on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, the real GUAP FAM. GFE OGB. You can tap in, link in my bio. You can see what's going on our YouTube. Like I say, the real GUAP FAM. You can Google it and just click it. We here. You can DM me. Um, Link in the bio. Instagram, the real GUAP Fam, and check it out. GUAP Fam playlist. Hey, check out that music. GUAP Fam playlist, behind the
That's
scene
right.
acts. Contest is coming soon. Hey, you want to check in the Matt Man Floyd, CEO too.
That's
What's
right.
going on?
Yeah. Hey, I'd love to have them on, so
Hey,
we can chop it up
it's
as
coming.
well.
It's
Yeah, for
coming. It's
sure.
coming.
For sure.
Like yeah, I just had to we had to see what's going on. You feel me?
Yep.
Because like I said, it's 2022, so it's like it's gonna be a lot of
Hmm.
rides. So
Yeah, for sure.
a lot of networking.
A lot of
So
networking.
you gonna see us again.
You're gonna see GUAP FAM everywhere. But yeah,
Hey,
that's dope. That's dope.
most
So man,
definitely,
if you wouldn't mind hanging on for just one bit while I close this out,
most definitely. I
for sure.
appreciate it.
Of course. One moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, man, did you get the knowledge? Did you get the growing with, knowledge and purpose? Man, I'm sure they're going to have more than just one acronym, more than two acronyms for GUAP. But I love it. I love it. Growing, wealth and prosperity. I don't know if I can think of all the ones that he said, but I still love the concept of and what they're doing over at GUAP FAM Entertainment. And I hope you will really dig deep into some of the things that he's been talking about, or at least we've been talking about on this interview tonight. Oh my gosh, it was so insightful. So many things that he just gave you. So if you're looking to get into this industry, you definitely got to make sure you go watch this interview, go back, right? Go back and take notes on all these different things that we're talking about. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you very much for tuning in to another interview segment here on We Create Music TV. You can always catch us every Monday and every Thursday at 7 p.m. That's when we do our interview segments. But you can catch us throughout the week, right? We have master classes, we have tutorials, we have, oh my gosh, tools and resources that we drop. So many different things that we do from, for all of you to make sure that you have the tools and resources and knowledge to be successful. But enough of all that rambling stuff. Thank you very much for being here once again. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to be notified of new content, hit the like button, so give us that thumbs up, and I appreciate all of you. Peace.